this represents the number line showing integers. So we've seen that number line extends in both the directions forever. They are infinite numbers. So we have positive numbers, we have negative numbers, and a 0, which is neither positive nor negative. So 0, positive numbers, negative numbers, all come under integers. Now we had seen, if I want to add positive numbers, I move in the forward direction. If I want to subtract, then I move in the backward direction. So addition and subtraction I had already seen, but this was only true for positive numbers. Now we know that negative numbers also exist. So how can I add and subtract in negative numbers? That's the question now. I know that a negative number is nothing but same as the positive number, but in the opposite direction. Just the sign changes. So I can say that for negative numbers, I would reverse the sign. So if to add positive numbers, I move forward. To add negative numbers, I will move backwards. To subtract positive numbers, I move back. To subtract negative numbers, I would move forward. That is, I can say, adding a positive numbers, going forward. Subtracting a positive number, going backward. Adding a negative number would be changing the direction, move back. And subtracting negative number would be, again, changing the direction. So this was moving backward, this would be moving forward. If you observe, you will see that adding a positive and subtracting a negative, both look exactly the same. Both are in the same direction, which is moving forward. So I can say that adding a positive is same as subtracting a negative. Let us look at this. So I take adding a positive, I take two numbers, 2 and 3, adding two positive numbers. So if I want to add 3 to 2, I'll start from 2 and I will add 3 to this. So I start from 2 and I add 3, 1, 2, 3. I get 5. Now so I've done this, adding a positive number. Now let me check this, which is subtracting a negative. I keep the numbers same. So 2 and 3, but I'm subtracting. So I change the sign and I'm subtracting a negative. So I make this 3 as negative 3. I'm subtracting a negative number. Now I know that when I subtract a negative number, I move in the forward direction. So we'll forget this sign. What we'll concentrate is we'll start from 2 and move 3 in the forward direction, because subtracting a negative is moving in the forward direction. So what I'll do is I'll start from 2 and I move 3 forward. Again I get 5. So 2 minus negative 3 gives me 5 again. So we see that adding a positive and subtracting a negative is the same thing. That is 2 plus 3 is same as 2 minus negative 3. So this would be 2 plus 3 only, which is 5. So both sides I get 5 and hence they are the same thing. Now there were two more things, subtracting a positive and adding a negative. Again, the direction for both of them also is the same. So let's see whether again these two are same or not. So I subtract a positive first. I subtract a positive number 3. 2 minus 3. So what will we do is we'll start from 2 and move 3 backwards. So we'll start from 2 and we move 3 backwards. 1, 2, 3. What do I get? Negative 1. Now we'll take these same numbers, but we'll add a negative. Adding a negative. So 2 and 3, we're not subtracting, we're adding. And we adding a negative. So I make this 3, this positive number, as a negative number. So I make it negative 3. So I want to add negative 3 to 2. So again, I'll start from 2. I want to add 3. I have to move in the right direction, in the forward direction. But since I'm adding a negative number, I'll move back. Adding a negative is same as moving back. So I'll start from 2 and I'll move 3 backwards. So I start from 2 and I move 3 backwards. I get negative 1 again. So we see that subtracting a positive or adding a negative is nothing but the same thing. That is 2 minus 3 is same as 2 plus negative 3. Both of them gives me the same thing. Plus minus is same as writing just minus. Adding a negative is same as just subtracting it. Negative 2 minus 3. So now can you solve this? Well, let's try to solve this. 6 plus 4 gives me 10. Plus 2 and plus minus. Now adding a negative. We know adding a negative is same as subtracting a positive. So instead of adding a negative, I can subtract the positive. So this would become 6 plus 4 plus 2 and adding a negative becomes subtracting a positive. So this would be 6 plus 4 gives me 10 plus 2 minus 2. 10 plus 2 is 12 minus 2 is again 10. So we see that we again come back to 10, or essentially you can say that 10 plus 2 minus 2. So this plus 2 and minus 2 is adding nothing to 10. Plus 2 minus 2 is adding, all these steps are adding nothing to 10. We get back 10 again. Adding nothing, or I can say is adding 0 to 10. So let us see again what these numbers actually mean. What is adding the same, subtracting the same number. Let's see. Let's say you have 3, plus 3 and minus 3. Now plus 3 means moving 3 in the forward direction, and minus 3 or negative 3 means moving 3 in the backward direction. So 1, 2 and 3. What you can see is that the distance is the same. Distance from origin here is also 3 and here is also 3. What has changed is the direction. So I can say that distance from origin, which we call as magnitude, magnitude is the same, but what has changed is the sign, the direction has changed. They are different in directions, but the magnitude is same, and such numbers are called as additive inverses of each other. If you add two numbers with same magnitude and different sign, you would always end up getting a 0. So take any two numbers, same magnitude, different sign, they would always be called as additive inverses because they would add up to 0.